Hello everyone, welcome back to J-Tan Realty. Today we are talking about the Robertson Opus. If you have any questions, please feel free to scan the QR code or contact me at 8262-0902, or you can follow me at my Instagram page so that you can keep yourself updated with my upcoming videos.
Okay, let's talk about Robertson Walk. Robertson Opus is actually Robertson Walk, and many of us have these memories back in Robertson. It's quite an iconic place because most of us will definitely go there when you're young to enjoy all the happy hours, cheap drinks, less than $5, right? And your date nights.
But actually I heard over there is more of people watching soccer, watching football, like World Cup, Euros. They will be over there overnight to enjoy everything over there. But now, because Singapore got all the rulings, I cannot go to midnight already. So, but before it closes, I think it was just last month end when it closed. I think there was still a lot of activities going on. A lot of people are still there, and we see a lot of expats over there as well, all enjoying themselves with the restaurants, pubs over there.
I went on the second day, so I felt the memories there. But it's like a bit pusata kind, but we hope that the feeling will still be there next time.
But what we heard from the developers is that they will continue to have all this in place over there, so that the culture or the ambience will all be still similar to what we have in the past.
So this is rebuilt and it's not en bloc. So it's rebuilt by the same developer, which is Fraser and Sekisui.
These are the developers. For Fraser's themselves, they have done Rivier, One Jervois Martin Place Residences. For Sekisui House, they done One Holland Village, the Reserve Residences, Seaside Residences. So from all these 6 projects, you can see they are more into the RCR, CCR kind of properties, and they are very good with them because all this is very iconic. Like Rivier, for example, when you talk about Rivier, everybody remembers Jacqueline Street where the Zouk was. And for Sekisui House, like One Holland V now is the biggest development over there. Everybody is going there. Upcoming Robertson Opus, I will say that this will again be another iconic project by them. And recently they have also done one iconic one in Toa Payoh,
the RE,
together with CDL. You can see that they are very into building very iconic buildings. So today, if you are looking for a project that you like the facade, you like the iconic feel of it, I think you can always consider Fraser's and Sekisui House projects.
Something to share about this project info, the tenure is 999 years, but because this is a rebuild, so the lease still continues. So from 1841, the balance should be about 815 years. And this is in District 9, and it is a mixed development, which means the first floor consists of a total 26 shops, which means your amenities and convenience is just right below your house.
Yeah, so I think there will be a lot of pubs, restaurants still over there, and maybe some groceries for all the residents there as well.
Residential units total of 4 blocks of 348 units. Unit types ranging from suite, 1-bedder, 2-bedder, 3-bedder, and 4-bedder. Estimated TOP will be second quarter 2030. Another thing that we want to highlight is that just now you mentioned commercial shop is just right below. And Fraser's, they are also very good at what? Shopping malls, which means they will be very particular about the tenant pool because they will be the one managing the tenants, especially in this mixed development. Accepting the tenants will be very crucial. So for example, you have one hair salon already, you do not want to have bringing another hair salon per se.
So they will try to deconflict all the different choices. And one thing good about buying a mixed use is also because all these rents collected from all these shops, commercial shops, usually is used to subsidize all the MCST fees. So people who are living there, own a unit over there, you will find that your MCST fee will be on the lower side. How much is it? Right now, it's not released at the point of filming. When you inquire, we'll let you know more about all these MCST fees. Over here, we also have 80% parking space, which is actually quite a lot for the recent projects. The recent projects that we see is usually about 70 all the way down to 50% we have seen before. For 80% car park space, I think especially for Robertson Opus, I think it's very crucial because people who buys a unit over here, usually I think they will own a car. And to have a parking lot allocated to them, I think it's very crucial and very important. Next, we also want to see for their concept architect, their principal architect. Alright, Studio Milo is the one that done up the Avenue, and ADDP is currently very involved in a lot of projects ongoing. So I would say for Fraser's and Circuit Street House, they are engaging very good architects for this development. So this is also a rough view of how it will be like downstairs in the commercial space, and also how it integrates into the residential facilities. These are some of the other perspectives that you can see. From the road outside, you can see a very iconic building with all the shops downstairs, total 26. And then the drop-off point is also very grand. The whole space over here, if you have been to Marina One Residences, will see quite similar kind of design over here, where the pool, actually when you look down from the pool, you can see all the shops downstairs, all the amenities lah.
So the Robertson Opus will be surrounded by buildings, and as you can see from here, right, the left side, you will overlook the shop houses, which means you will have shorter buildings. And from the front, you can see UE Square Residences. That means you will be facing more of the facilities of the UE Square. But take note that you are surrounded by all the buildings, so Robertson Opus, you do not have your Singapore River view, and we will not focus much on which units to look into on the views. Okay, so look at the location. This is just 5 minutes walking distance to Fort Canning MRT. Just 5 minutes drive to the CBD and your Orchard shopping area. Then the connectivity of the nearby MRT, which is, you can take a look here, is very important for tenants' point of view. Because in terms of buying into investment property, your tenants will definitely prefer this location.
And I also feel that for tenants wise, sometimes they want to rent somewhere that is not so near their workplace, but at the same time they also want to enjoy a lot of amenities and facilities in their own project. So I think Robertson Opus offers that, because just a few stops they reach their workplace, and just a few stops home, their dinner or their meals is actually just downstairs. So I think very favorable if today you are just buying a unit to go for investment in the long term, you just want to rent out for a long term, I think this will be a very good choice. These are the surroundings that you can see. These suites and one bedroom block, you will see these village residences. This is a hotel that is very close by. So developers also put all the smaller units over here, because usually tenants, they won't mind about all these facings, etc. Then you will see this premium block over here, because we have the 3 and 4 bedrooms in this block facing the UE Square. There will be certain views to it, because you will look into the facilities of UE Square. But other than that, like what Charlene said, there will be no views going into the Singapore River.
So these are just the amenities around the area. Your Orchard, your Great World City.
Yeah, we have Sentosa, 12 minutes drive. Raffles Place, 6 minutes drive. But actually, you don't even need to drive. You just take MRT over there. Everything is just so close by.
And Robertson Opus is within 1 kilometer to River Valley Primary School. There are many projects that are within the 1 kilometer to River Valley Primary School, but Robertson Opus is the only project which is newest. Number 2, 999 years, and a mixed development which is near to River Valley Primary School. Is very rare and unique.
When we come to the site design, we also want to see the distance away from other blocks. Like what Charlie mentioned just now, this block 7 is facing the shop houses and is 26 meters away. These shop houses are about 3 to 4 floors, and for this block over here, we have up to 10 floors. So over here, if you really want to overlook the shop houses, I think this is the one that you can get most unblocked view lah. For block 9, you will actually see into the facilities of UE Square, like we mentioned just now. 11, 13, 15, sort of you'll get your views blocked. So this is why some people speculate that the inner facing ones will have a little bit of premium. How much we do not know, because we don't have a really clear indicative over there. In our analysis later on, what we'll do is to just take away this premium away, and all the units will be of the same PSF. Now we see how the car parks is being linked to the residential blocks. Later on, when we see another chart, we can see that all the lifts are connected to every blocks. For people who are coming here just to visit to have a meal, they'll park at this commercial car park, which can have an escalator that will link you to first story commercial shops. Over here, I would say if I live in any blocks, for me to go into the commercial space is very easy for me. I just take my normal lift down to level 1 will do. So a lot of convenience being given by the developers. These are just some of the perspectives that we have in Robertson Opus. So you can see all the facilities being named after Opus. Opus Club, Opus Commons, Opus Wellness. And you can see for the design itself very similar to the Avenir, because this architect is also the Avenir's architect. Everything very similar. If you really want to see how is it like inside this Opus in the future, you can pay a visit to the Avenir to look first.
This is the site plan. Just now Jay mentioned about the 5 different blocks, right? But I want to highlight that this block 15 only consists of suite 1 bedroom and 1 type of 2 bedroom. What is so special? Because this is the only block that has high ceiling of up to 3.225 meters high.
3.225 meters is actually quite rare for projects, because right now I think all the harmonized projects, they don't offer this anymore because they don't want to build extra space and then they cannot sell it. But over here, even though it's 3.225 meters, developers do not have to sell you any strata space on top. So it will just be a normal strata space. If you are looking for very unique 1 bedroom or 2 bedrooms, this is where you find. I would say for this block, because it's more catered to tenants, it's also very strategically placed. Why? Because it's just by the pool, and the function areas, function rooms, etc. is all just beside at block 13. So very attractive for all the tenants out there.
On top of that, right, there are also 3 different types of collection in this development, which is the Premier collection, only suites 1 bedroom, and the 2 bedroom, that which is the 1 type in block 15. Another one, it will be the luxury collection unit that is of 2 and 3 bedroom type. And lastly, legacy collection, which is the premium 3 bedroom and 4 bedroom. What is the difference between the collection is the finishes, the material they choose, and the color tone they used.
But I think for the legacy wise, it's more premium in terms of the materials used, because there's marble flooring over there. I think for premium and luxury collection, not much difference, just color tone. But if you really wants to go for a more premium kind of materials, you can consider the legacy collections.
So here is the unit mix. As you can see, majority in this development, right, they focus mainly on the smaller unit type, which is suites, 1 bedroom, and the 2 bedroom already consists of more than 40+%. We want to point out this is because this 2 bedroom, right, there are already 7 types of layouts which we will be elaborating more on, which will be more superior or preferred by resale buyers in the future. So stay tuned in this video, okay?
Yes, because today if you don't watch some kind of analysis before you go into the balloting, you might choose the wrong layout, which you might find yourself stuck in the resale market next time, because resale buyers, they look for different things, and we see a common trend of what they tends to look at, prioritize. Like windows, if you have seen our other videos, we emphasize a lot of windows, we emphasize a lot of the wasted space if there's any. So in these 7 different kind of 2 bedrooms, we also want to identify which is the most preferred, which is the one that you may want to avoid going into.
Unit distribution shows that all blocks are connected directly to the car park and commercial zone, which you can link to your amenities straight away.
First, we go into the suites and 1 bedroom analysis. The finishings over here, like we mentioned just now, is the Premier collection. You will see all the lighter tone kind of tilings over there. And what we see in the show flat, because for the suites over there, the show flat shows the suites. And in the show flat itself, we see that house-wise, you can't really see the grout line over there. It's a very big piece of house they use, which will give you more of a more premium feeling over there. Ultimately, this is a 999 years. They definitely have to design in a way where it's different from the normal 99 years. Now we look into the floor plan itself. On my left, we have the suites, which is in 4 different stacks. If you see on the map itself over here, this is in the yellow zone. Once you come into the house, you will see a kitchenette over here with the bathroom right by the door. And then when you go inside, you will see the dining, master room, and the living area. The difference from these suites to another suite more or less is very similar. It's just that over here, I circled it out, the wall will be protruding out from the balcony a little bit. Ultimately, over here, there's not much views for you to appreciate. By jutting out a little bit, there's actually not much difference. For the suites itself, you just remember this layout, and now I bring you into the 1 bedroom. So this is the 1 bedroom layout, which is all the inner facing. You can see again, when I go inside the house, I see a kitchenette over here. And then the master bath will be connected to the room over there. Just now what we see in the suites, we don't have the master bath connected to the master room. But over here is connected to the master room. Another difference you can see is actually this wall over here. But this is a non-PPVC project. which means to say you can actually knock down over here if you want to make your living hall bigger. I would say not much difference in terms of suites and one bedroom, and tenants, I don't think they will also pay more for this piece of wall. What we also see is the difference in size, which later on we'll touch on more on the pricing itself. Is it worth it to top up to buy this one bedroom? In terms of pricing, we can see over here 3,002 is our own estimate, and then I also bring it up to 3,006 so that viewers like you can have a rough pricing in mind first before the actual indicative is out, because 5th July is the preview. If they launch out and say that they are going to start from a 3,002 PSF, you can actually use our chart to roughly see how much it will be priced accordingly. Our suites itself, it will start from 1.38 million all the way up to 1.55 million. For the one bedroom, it's 1.584 starting and all the way up to 1.78-ish. So you can see if I get the more expensive suites, I'm actually the same quantum as the lower floor one bedroom. The difference itself, if I get the same floors, the difference between these layouts will be about 200,000. So 200,000 you get additional wall, and with this location of the master bath, you yourself as a investor, as a buyer, you have to see whether it's worth it. 200,000, will you pay for it?
No.
200,000 extra. If let's say the rent, I would say if let's say I can rent out a 4,500 versus a 4,000 over here, $500 difference. If I use 200,000 to divide by 500, actually not worth it. I would say why I put a star over here is today, if you are an investor looking to buy in a place to rent out long term, you want a 999 years in your pocket as a trophy house, just go for the suites because you save $200,000 from topping up to a one bedroom, which is, I don't see a much difference in the tenant pool market.
But Jay, usually buying into this suite and one bedroom, who are the main buyers? Because investor, they will count, just like you counted the rental yield, right? But what are the key things to note, especially in this area?
So who will be the buyers over here? Usually those that have an extra name, they just want to buy for a passive income, but yet they don't want to buy something that is 99 years. Robertson Opus in general, I would say people who are buying here are really for that status that they want, and also the convenience. So we can also see who are the buyers that really bought into this area. We pick up some projects that are in CCR and also in the nearby River Valley area. We can see that the average has already reached about 1.5, 1.6, 1.4, 1.7, 1.4, and even the Quayside 2.468 million for a one bedroom. One bedroom, I never lied to you, it's really one bedroom. Of course, this one bedroom is of a bigger floor plate. Last check, it was about 1,003 square feet.
Okay.
So that's why the quantum is like that. But for a buyer to just enjoy a one bedroom, they are willing to come up with this quantum. Even if I just take this out, the Quayside, the average over here is about 1.6 million-ish. So 1.6 million for the Robertson Opus, you can actually afford all the suites over here. If you want a brand new 999 that is affordable and you are not overpaying something of this size, Robertson Opus, I think, is a very wise choice. In terms of the profits made by one bedrooms in this area, we can see the River Place, we have 700,000, the Pier, close to 600, UE Square, 1 million. We have Quayside, because bigger floor plate, they tend to earn more. We got 1.4 million profits there. And then Robertson, 100, 350. If I take out all the million ones, the profits that you can expect is in the 300, 200, 200,000. We take the average as a very safe margin. Today, buy a one bedroom over here, is it worth it or not?
We will share with you later on.
We'll share with you. So the upcoming competition in River Valley area, we have to pay some attention to it today if you are a buyer looking into Opus as well. In the River Valley area, there are upcoming 3 plots that's already zoned for residential. We already have one that is called RiverGreen. Another one is bought by Goco Land. We also have Zion Road, 2 parcels, one by All Green, another one by CDL. These 4 plots will be coming back to back after Robertson Opus. When it comes to resale, comes to TOP, these will all be our immediate competitors. And for RiverGreen itself, we have already known the sizes of it. Today, I also want to use them and see how much they are going to sell at. Their break-even price for this RiverGreen Parcel A is 2,258 PSF. If I add in a 20% profit for the developers, they will be looking at 2,007 for their selling
Starting
launch price. Of course, if they want to be more sensitive, they can go down to 2.6 lah. But we'll be using 2.7 as a gauge over here. Why I want to do this is to show you whether it's worth to buy into the suites of Robertson Opus. Today, if I use 3,002 as an example for my suites, it's 1.379. But for RiverGreen itself, 99 years project, if I use 2007, it's 1.134 for their one bedroom. The difference is 245,000. Now, when we see this kind of numbers, you might feel that the suites over here is very expensive. Of course, today I would say that if you want to save on 200,000, you can wait for RiverGreen. If today you are looking for a 999 years, I think this is the only chance that you can go into Opus. I wouldn't say it's good or bad for suites in Robertson Opus. You can determine it yourself. Feel free to leave any comments, then we can discuss further. The next thing I also want to show you, suites to the 2-bedroom in RiverGreen. Same price for the suites, but for RiverGreen 2 bedrooms, we estimate it to start from 1.422 million. I just have to top up another 43,000. I get 2-bedroom in RiverGreen. Actually quite more wuhua to go for the RiverGreen 2-bedroom lah.
We also want to emphasize because Robertson Opus is a 999 and RiverGreen, the competitors will be 99 years. Technically, you are attracting different two groups of buyers and audiences, right? One which like the prestige 999 years, and another that just want to come into this District 9 to feel the lifestyle as well.
And I think in terms of resale market wise, RiverGreen might face more challenges because RiverGreen has to fight with the other 3 plots. Whereas for Robertson Opus, it has its own uniqueness, like it's a mixed use, it's a 999, is the newest, closest to River Valley Primary.
But of course, we will also do the analysis for the upcoming River Valley, just now you mentioned.
Yes, RiverGreen.
The Zion area. So stay tuned to all this as well.
Yes, because all these projects back to back, we'll also do the videos back to back. So please subscribe to our channel so that you keep yourself updated. Now we go into the supply and yield in River Valley area to see whether today, if you're an investor, should you even consider going into River Valley or not. So we have come up with all the projects in the River Valley area, which is 500 meters to Opus. Over here we have close to 1,008 units, and out of which 313 units are 1-bedroom. The rental on average over here is about 3.28%. The supply over here is about 17.6% of 1-bedroom units. If I bring you into downtown area for comparison, I also take out all the projects over there, and what we see is there is a total of 3,400 units over there, and out of which close to 1,400 units are 1-bedrooms. So very high supply in downtown area. Yet we see that the rental yield is higher, 4.31% over there, although the percentage is 40% of 1-bedrooms over there. So a lot of people in the market will say that, hey, I want to buy a unit, I must buy somewhere with low supply. Because the common assumption will be, I buy low supply, that means there will be demand for my unit. Over here, what we show you is, even though you can experience low supply in your area, but your rental yield, the demand might not be as good. So supply is very easy for us to check it out online, to tabulate ourselves. But the demand is the crucial thing that you need to be on the ground to understand it, to see at certain phase of timeline, a certain demand might come, certain demand might not be there.
Yes.
So it's very crucial when you buy into investment property, you check properly about the demand first. Using past projects, you can sort of see which are the estate you should go into.
Then now let's focus on 2-bedroom. Just now we mentioned you have to pay attention to this 2-bedroom because there are 7 types of 2-bedroom. All are 2-bed, 2-bath, and including 1 2-bed plus study.
So before you go into it, go get your coffee, get your drinks, sit down and pay close attention.
Yes. Alright. There are 2 types of collection, which is the Premier and the Luxury. Premier is just the one we mentioned, the only type B1 layout. So the difference is the finishing. Premier collection is on a lighter tone, whereas the Luxury collection is more on a darker, warmer kind of tone. So like we mentioned earlier, the Premier collection in Block 15, which has the only one layout, which is the B1 layout. This is the high ceiling, 3.225 meters high ceiling. And this B1, what is so special is they are at the corner of the block, which means, look at the floor plan, they will have windows in their kitchen and bathroom. And this is a traditional layout, which I can say this is the most preferred layout in the entire Singapore. Because right now, most of the 2-bedroom, they are not, number one, not located at the corner, which means they do not have the windows in the kitchen or bathrooms. And this is an enclosable kitchen. Now we compare side by side B2 layout, 689 square feet. This is also an enclosable kitchen, but this layout is a dumbbell layout. Looking at this layout is very functional, okay, but the facing wise, the stacks will be mainly outward facing, and you can see from the side, right, it is in between the 3 bedrooms, which means there won't be any corner, there won't be any window for your kitchen and bathroom. When you look at these 2 floor plans, what I want to bring your attention to is the glass panel in the kitchen. This glass panel in both layouts, right, it gives ample of light to the kitchen because sometimes you don't really need to on your light when you are during daytime when you are cooking. And another thing is when you are a young couple, when you are preparing your food, you can still look out to the window and see what are they doing lah.
If we compare to other projects, only 999 or this kind of freehold projects, developers will pay more attention to the livability inside, the practicality. Why? Because owners who buy these 2 bedrooms, I think mostly they are for own stay. And own stay people really look at all these things.
Correct.
And even when it comes to resale market, these are the unique selling point that you can show your resale buyers to give yourself a very good selling point and maybe to check out the price also.
Next, B3 and B4 layout. I think B3, we'll talk about this at 710 square feet. Okay, look at the floor plan. This will be the open concept kitchen, which is not very preferred by the resale buyers. There is no windows in the kitchen. Then next, B4 layout is 721 square feet, 2 stacks of inward facing. This is the traditional layout. It's actually just like the mirror image of the B1 layout, but take note that this now is not in the corner, so you will not come with any windows in your kitchen and bathroom. And no high ceiling of 3.225 meter, which is the normal traditional layout you see in other projects. Now compare B5 and B6 layouts. These are the side-by-side mirror image layout with kitchenette. Both are same 721 square feet and both are also outward facing. And when you walk in here, you will see your kitchenette. If you want to enclose your kitchen, yes you can, but you will not have your designated dining space. You will be thinking, where should you put your dining space, right? Another thing is that, can you take a look at both of these units? They have this long walkway. So usually, this kind of long walkway, people want to pay for this kind of long walkway is when there is this angled foyer. Why is it important? Because angled foyer, it gives you privacy to people that walk past. They cannot see directly to your living area. But this longer walkway, you just directly see your living area. Is very exposed, no privacy. Once it comes to resale market, you will find yourself stuck because of not much of a selling point in terms of comparing with other bedroom type. So lastly, 2+ study layout. This will be 743 square feet of inner facing, and it has the furthest block-to-block distance. This layout is the show flat layout, and it is also a dumbbell layout, which is like your B2 689 square feet layout. But now it comes with additional study area, which is another 54 square feet. So if you really need additional study, then you can look into this 2+ study because it's rare and there's only 36 units. Also, we want to highlight that because this is the show flat unit, if you want to visualize other 2-bedroom units, you can just go down there and just imagine there is no study area, then look at the layout of the 689 square feet.
Alright, so this is the 2-bed estimated pricing that we have. Again, we are starting from 3,002 PSF all the way up to 3,006 PSF. You can see that if I have a 3 million budget, basically I can afford everything over here. For the B1 that we have, we are starting from a 2.3 million. And for the 2+ study, we are also in the 2.377 million range. I just have to top up about 70,000. I can get another study, which I think it will be quite popular because 70k for a buyer in Opus, I think is quite affordable to them.
So the 2-bed top choices are very clear It's the 3.225 meter high special B1, most preferred layout, best own stay by.
I'm quite sure other projects you can't find this. 999, District 9, 2-bedroom with all the best things, and someone mixed development for all the own stay buyers. Wow.
Yep.
This one cannot find, I really cannot find.
This will be the one that will be snatched up first.
Hopefully we are right.
Okay, next we will look at the 689 square feet of the B2 layout, dumbbell layout. It comes with no windows, but is very functional because of the enclosable kitchen. However, if the differences comes out more than 200,000 in terms of the quantum between B1 and B2, I will say that we can choose a B2 layout. 689 square feet is safer because paying 200,000 more for a window and high ceiling, you might need to take some time to sell. Yeah.
Third and fourth place, we have the 2+ study in the third place, and then we have B4 as the fourth place. Why so? Because for the third place, like I said just now, just a 70k from B1, you can actually afford this 2+ study, and we have the furthest block to block distance away. The layout wise, we still have an enclosable kitchen, dumbbell layout with another Jack and Jill toilet for the common bedroom. Very flexible and I think very spacious for a 2-bedroom family. Why I didn't choose B4 as my third is because of the size itself. So 721 square feet compared to my B1, also 721 square feet. I might find myself more stuck once it comes into the resale market because now I don't have windows, although I have a traditional layout, so I will always have to wait for the B1 prices to go first. I have nothing extra to win over B1. But in terms of this 2+ study, at least I have a study area that I can sell to the future buyers. This is why we rank this as number 3 and the next number 4. So 5 or 6, we will not touch on it because for myself, I feel since people who are buying here will most likely be our own stay buyer, open concept kitchen will straight away just eliminate it. Now we go into the 3-bedroom plus flexi analysis. For our 3 bedrooms, we have 3 different types, which is the 3 flexi, 3 duo flex, and also 3 premium. Okay, so just pay close attention. If today you are looking to buy something for your own stay in this area, 3-bedroom will really be the most preferred choice. So grab your coffee again. Of course, if you like our videos, please like and subscribe to our channel so that you can keep yourself updated with more of our analysis.
Let's go.
So 3-bedroom flexi, we have C1S and C2S as comparison. The difference is actually this balcony in the master room for the C2S. So why is C1S and C2S good? It's actually because of the enclosed kitchen with a flexi room over here. So this flexi room, developers already mentioned that if you buy at the on-start, which is the booking day, launch day on 19 July, you can actually request for this not to be built. So if you want a very longer dining space, you can opt in for that to have the wall not built. And also why we also prefer this C1S is because of the lack of balcony over here. Because balcony, what we see in the resale market is some people will feel additional balcony in my master room is a wasted space to them because they don't usually hang out over there. The difference here, what we can see is about 54 square feet multiplied by 3,002 is about 160,000 difference just for a additional balcony. Whether you like a balcony and you are willing to pay 160,000, that's your preference but as a agent myself, I've seen this usually not preferred, so we'll go for C1S. And C1S over here, we have more of opening over here compared to C2S where it's more blocked in terms of sunlight and airflow so definitely I will choose C1S first. Now when we go into C3S and C4S, C5S, all has balcony inside the master room. What is different is actually the foyer area, the entrance to the unit. So over here I put C3S as my most preferred out of these 3. Why? Because of this entrance that gives me privacy to my unit. Again, for a 3-bedroom own stay buyers, privacy is also very important. The other 2, like C4S, is a straight one. Like Charlene mentioned just now, a straight one, usually people find it, I can't do anything much to it, and there's no purpose of buying additional space just to have this kind of privacy. Between C3S and C5S, although there is privacy for both units, but the increase in the square feet is about 32 square feet. So again, it's about 100,000 just for the extra foyer space, which I think C3S, this one is enough. Now, for the prices wise, we can see if you have a 4 million budget, basically you can afford everything. Our C1S starts from maybe about 3 million, then C3S is 3.2, If the bigger size one will be about 3.3 million starting from. So I don't need to pay extra for all the C4, C5S lah. 3 million, I can get something in my comfortable range, a C1S, a good layout, which is over here. Then next choice C2S, then C3S. You can take a snapshot of this if today you are looking for Opus 3 bedroom so that you can keep yourself updated once it comes to the launch itself. Next, 3-bed dual flex. Okay, these two layouts are very special. When we go inside the show flat, this is one of the show unit over there. Why they built over there, I think also because they want to let people understand how it looks like. Because on floor plan itself, we find it really weird.
Yes, very rare in the market to have this. We are scratching our head, how to plan this.
Sometimes rare also not a good thing. This one rare until nobody understands why they build it this way. I tell you why. A lot of people will assume that this dual flex means dual key, but actually it's not. I don't know how you are going to put the door if you want to do a dual key, because if you put here, what we see in the show flat is the aircon is over in this area. So if I put a door over here, basically my dining area is super hot. And if I put a door here, that means my tenant over here don't get to enjoy any cooking. Then if I put over here, also quite weird. A 2-bedroom tenant have no access to the kitchen. There are some suggestions on what people can do with this layout is to turn it into a co-living, which means to say I block out this area. So total I will have 4 rooms for me to rent out as a co-living. And you can see for the master bath itself, it also has 2 entrances so that 2 rooms can actually share the toilet. And if this person wants to share a toilet, you can also come over here because I can close this up and then this will become a common toilet. So the only way I see why people will buy this is either they are okay with this for own stay, if not they are using this for co-living. And co-living, I personally feel is very dangerous. Co-living wise, once the market turns bad, you will find yourself really stuck with the whole unit. Because tenants usually they want their own spaces, they want to have at least some cooking inside. Co-living at this quantum is not a wise decision. I won't go too deep into it. It's just it's located in the corners. It's quite a wastage to have dual flex in the corners. If they put other layouts over there, I think it will be more beneficial. So we won't see much movements in this dual flex.
So now we will go into the 3-bed premium, which you need to pay particular attention to it because this is in the Legacy collection. Wow, you can feel the finishing. Looking at this, right? Later I'll touch on more about this kitchen. It gives you the very premium and grand look. And this actually comes with a marble flooring, so it makes it very, very grand. 2 layouts only, C1P 1152 square feet and C2P same 1152 square feet. There are no difference in this layout, only that C1P have 2 stack, both outward facing, and C2P is inward facing and is more on the unblocked kind. Why did I say this is the best layout? Okay, take a look at kitchen. Just now you saw the photos about this, right? This comes with 2 side glass window. Here are enclosable. You can either open up when you're not cooking. It gives you the very grand entrance when you walk into your house. When you open up, it's like very big. Even if you close up, because it's a glass panel, right, it just blends in very well together with your living. In resale market, it gives the very attractive open up look. For this River Valley area, people like this kind of lifestyle that they want to invite their friends over, that gives them this kind of feel, which is very wide and big, right? This living and bedroom 3 area, which is because it's non-PPVC just now we mentioned, if you do not need the bedroom 3, you can hack this bedroom 3 wall away and make it into an even larger living space. And another thing is I want to highlight about this flexi room. Okay, this is done in a way that you can also hack it to make it a walk-in wardrobe area. And because why is it so special? They even have a window for this flexi area. So it's definitely one of the safest unit. But comparing between C1P and C2P, we will say that the facing wise, we can choose C2P because it's facing inward and with the furthest block-to-block distance. Then we will look at the supply and demand. Every time you buy into properties, you have to look at the supply and demand. Just now you mentioned a 2-bed, right? Now we look at the 3-bed supply here. You can see the overall, the newest one is the Avenir, and then the other will be Rivergate, which is about more than 12 years. Yeah, then Martin Places, Aspen Heights. So there are not many 3-bedrooms. As of today's filming, right, there are only 29 listings for sale. In the whole of River Valley, there is not much supply in this. So when it comes to selling, right, the seller will be able to demand a higher price.
So you can see the Avenir, a freehold property there, a 3-bedroom right now, they can already ask for 4.22 million. And they're also near River Valley Primary School. So that is also what Robertson Opus have. And what we have in additional is the mixed use part of it. If let's say they ask 4.22 million over here, us buying at a 3 million range or even up to the legacy one 4.147, once we come into the TOP stage, we definitely can sell higher than the Avenir already. Of course, today if you are looking for other location, this is also how you can check whether your unit or your project has the potential to make some profits in the future or not, because all the resale prices are already hitting what you are buying in as a new buyer. Now we go into the 4-bedroom analysis, you will see this is only one stack of 9 units, so very rare, very premium stack over here, and it has the best facing overall. So over here what we can see is the same kitchen that Charlene mentioned. So imagine today you are having your Chinese New Year or kind of gatherings over here. You can open up these glass doors over here and people can still stand in this walkway. So a lot of times we buy other projects and other layouts, you will realize that this could be just a glass wall maximum. Usually people won't hang out there, but today with this pushable door, then people can stand over here to just enjoy some like a dry kitchen. So your total usable space of your living hall will become inclusive of this kitchen space and the walkway. So very grand, very big. For this 4-bedroom over here, we also have an advantage of a junior master that is already built up for you. And if you really just need a 3-bedroom over here and you want to be the most grand 3-bedroom, what you can do is just to hack down this wall and then you enjoy this full view from the balcony. And we also have a walk-in wardrobe already built in for you. So this is how it will look like if you turn your 3-bedroom premium flexi into a walk-in wardrobe. This is the look and feel. Prices starts from about 4.9 million all the way up to 5.5 million. So at this kind of price point, people can actually buy a lander elsewhere. And we also want to see whether this pricing makes sense or not. So when I research the resale 4-bedroom supply, we can see the Avenir is already hitting 8 million. Wow. Okay, I can't believe my eyes. So for the Avenir 4-bedroom is already asking from 8 million upwards. And we have Martin Place 5.5 million and Rivergate is in the 5.2 million range. So even if we buy the most expensive 4-bedroom in the Opus, it's only about 5.5 million. It's way below what other people are transacting or asking in this area. So you can see the demand and supply over here for a bigger size floor plate over here is actually very strong for the demand. Supply very low, that's why owners can ask this kind of pricing, and there are transactions already shown that people accepted this kind of pricing over here. So today if you are looking at a 4-bedroom, I think this is the one and only the best project that you should consider, because the upcoming ones are all 99 years. 4-bedroom in CCR, usually people want the freehold status or at least a 999. So in summary, this is the price chart that we have consolidated all the way from suites to 4-bedroom. You can take a screenshot if you want to, or revisit this video once it comes to selecting the units. If today you are having a certain pricing range that you have, I also put in the recommendations below. If below 2 million, just go for the suites. Below 3 million, you go for B1 first, then B2, then B7S. Below 4 million, you go for the C2P first, C1P, then C1S, then C3S. Below 6 million, just go for the 4-bedroom. You'll never go wrong with a 4-bedroom over here, especially a 999 years.
So in conclusion, Robertson Opus, the buyers are mainly buying over the freehold, 999 years lease, the mixed development, and the feeling of staying in the District 9. So we focus mainly on the layout and the own stay feel for your future buyers.
So we have come to the end of this Robertson Opus analysis, and I hope you get good takeaways from all our analysis. If you like our videos, please continue to like and subscribe to our channel so that we will be more motivated to do more analysis for you. And like we said, we are going to do more on the River Valley Parcel A and B, Zion Parcel A and B. So all these are very crucial if you are considering any projects in this area. Feel free to contact me at my phone number 82620902, or you can go also to my Instagram channel to keep yourself updated with some snippets of all this analysis. Thank you for watching and we'll see you in the next one.